Hi, today we discuss about chromatography. It is a separation technique as well as an identification technique. The basic principle involved in all the chromatography is the involvement of two phases called a stationary phase as well as a mobile phase. A stationary phase is fixed in certain surfaces, while the mobile phase can travel over the stationary phase. Usually the mobile phase carries the components to be separated or identified, and they move over the stationary phase. And now we discuss about the classification of chromatography. We can have various way of classifying the chromatography. One is based on mechanism of separation. For all the chromatography technique, there will be a mechanism of separation between the components. If the separation is based on adsorption, you know what is adsorption, then it is called adsorption chromatography. If the mechanism of separation is partition, and it is called partition chromatography. We'll discuss the term partition later. Now next is based on phases. There are two phases called a stationary phase and mobile phase. So we discuss based on, or we classify based on their physical state. The one is called a solid liquid chromatography. Solid liquid chromatography means here the mobile phase is a liquid while the stationary phase is a solid. So it is called a solid liquid chromatography. Now if the mobile phase is a gas and the stationary phase is a solid, then it is called a gas solid chromatography. Now you have liquid phase chromatography. There you have liquid chromatography. Both the components, both the phases, mobile phase as well as the stationary phase are liquid, hence it is called a liquid chromatography. Now you have the mobile phase as gas while the stationary phase as liquid, then it is called a gas liquid chromatography. While you are saying, first you have to specify the mobile phase, then the stationary phase, but here it is given in an invert way. First it is given as stationary phase, but actually you have to give first as the mobile phase, then the stationary phase. Then it is based on the shape of chromatography, but of the basis of the technique of separation. Now, you can also call it as technique of separation. Now actually you are preparing a chromatographic bed, or we are preparing a stationary phase. Based on that we can have a planar chromatography. In planar chromatography what you are doing is the stationary phase is prepared in a plate. It will be a glass plate, it will be a thin metallic plate, or it will be a paper, like that. Over that you are preparing the stationary phase in a planar manner. That's why this chromatography is called a planar chromatography. Now you have column chromatography. Here what happened? The stationary phase is prepared in a column manner, long column. That's why it is called a column chromatography.